Hello everyone. Dimitri here, Pornography Addiction Recovery Coach, and I'm making a quick live today because somehow you may think I'm crazy. Somehow you may think, why is this guy so passionate about pornography addiction, and what's so special about pornography addiction? So there's a couple of things. The first one is that pornography. Okay, I'm a recovered sex addict, alright? So I am versed in sexuality, and I really enjoy the topic of sexuality because I think it's very revealing about what humans are. There's the pleasure of sex, but there's the intricacies of sexuality, and this is so interesting and rich as a topic. Looks like my half of my head has been chopped, but that's okay. So I really enjoy sexuality. Pornography is a particular instantiation of sexuality that is really interesting because it is a repository of the whole of sexuality in humanity. So that's even more interesting on the human aspect. Now, what's the value of pornography? How can we use pornography to the best of our advantages? Healing from pornography addiction, why is that crucial but also helpful? The real reason why I'm passionate about this is because what I want to create is a world where humans are at peace with themselves. A world where humans are at peace with themselves and with one another. And the only way to do that is to heal the wounds that we carry. It's to heal the wounds that we carry. And we can aspire to powerful goals and making millions of dollars and creating this and that, but if we're not at peace with ourselves and if we haven't healed our wounds, none of this has value. This success, this apparent success, is worthless because we can't even be in a relationship with ourselves. And I believe that a world where people have healed their wounds is a world at peace. And I like peace. And I'd like to see peace, and I see myself as an agent of peace. So I would like to implement that. Now, how do we heal those wounds? Well, there's a variety of ways we can do that. And to heal from pornography addiction, you will need to heal your wounds. But why is pornography addiction so special with respect to any other addiction? Pornography will help you understand what your wound is. Pornography will point to your wounds, and you will see your wounds in a very unique way. It is the best possible process to identify your wounds is to check the content that you're watching in pornography and understanding how that relates to your wounds and your past. And it's the only addiction that does that. If you're smoking, you don't know where you're smoking, you just know that you're smoking. If you're gambling, you don't know where you're gambling, you're just gambling. But if you're with pornography, you have access to such a repository, a vast repository of images, sexual images, that you can understand what is the scenario that is you're constantly replaying in your head. What are you trying to run away from is what you watch in pornography. That is why pornography is so important. And so when we say living with integrity, we live with integrity when we're away from our addictions, when we have overcome our addictions, but also we live with integrity when we have healed our wounds. And pornography allows you to do that. Pornography is a powerful ally to identify your wounds. So if you know you're wounded, if you know there's some dysfunction in your life, but you can't quite pinpoint what's happening, but you know there's something that is suboptimal, it's probably a wound that has not been healed. And so using pornography and checking the content that you're watching will inform you on what that wound is. It will point directly to the wound. Before healing the wound, you need to identify the wound. And pornography will point directly to that wound. It is the only addiction that does that in the whole world, and that's why it is the most powerful addiction to heal from, because it will inform you so much. That's why also it is the most powerful addiction at all. That's why it's my belief that pornography addiction is one of the hardest to recover from, and that's because pornography is pervasive, it's free, it's anonymous, but it's also because it's tapping directly into the wounds. It's tapping directly into our insecurities and soothing those insecurities and giving us a false sense of confidence and relief. But we're just reinforcing our wounds when we watch pornography instead of healing the wound. But before we heal it, we need to identify it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. If this sounds interesting, but roughly or a little bit obscure, I will attach a link to my masterclass below, and you're welcome to watch the masterclass. The masterclass will teach you how you can use pornography to point to your wound and how you heal your wounds. The only thing that the world needs right now is not more mobile phones, is not more planes, is not none of that. It's just peace within our hearts. And that's what I want to create with you folks. That's what I want to create with you, friends. Okay. Do you have a wound? Have you been able to identify your wound? Have you worked on your wounds? Is the concept of wound completely weird to you and what I'm talking about doesn't even make sense at all? Let us know in the comments, and I guarantee you that understanding the pornography you watch will inform you of what the wound you carry and how you can heal it. Take care, folks.